Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to study about subtraction of 5-digit numbers by borrowing from Maharashtra State Board syllabus for standard 4. There is an exercise given here. So let's solve the exercise. First, 42,715 minus 21,618. First we need to subtract in the units place here. It is 5 and here it is 8. 5 minus 8. We cannot subtract 8 from 5. Hence, we borrow from tens place. So, we are going to borrow 110 to the units. So, these 110 is borrowed to the units place. So, 0 tens remain here and the 10 units what we have borrowed here, those 10 units and these 5 units together, they make 15 units. Now 15 minus 8 is 7. Next, 0 minus 1. We cannot subtract 1 from 0. We need to borrow from hundreds place. These are 700s. So when we borrow 100 to tens place, 600 remain here. And we have borrowed 10 tens, that is 100. So these 0 tens and the tens what we have borrowed here together, they make 10 tens. Now we can subtract 1 from 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 6 minus 6 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Next, second, 56,824 minus 32,465. First, we need to subtract the numbers which are in the units place. It's 4 minus 5. 5 is a bigger number. We cannot subtract 5 from 4. Hence, we borrow 1 10. These two tens, they become 110. And we have borrowed 110, that is 10 units. So those 10 units and these 4 units together, they make 14 units. 14 minus 5 is 9. 1 minus 6. We cannot subtract 6 from 1. Hence, we need to borrow from hundreds place. 8 hundreds will become 700s. And 100 what we have borrowed here, they are 10 tens. So those 10 tens and this 110 together, they make 11 tens. 11 minus 6 is 5. 7 minus 4 is 3. 6 minus 2 is 4. And 5 minus 3 is 2. So the answer is 24,359. Third, 78,235 minus 43,759. 5 minus 9. 9 is a bigger number. Hence, we cannot subtract 9 from 5. We need to borrow from tens place. We are borrowing 110 from here to the units. So from 3 tens, when you borrow 110, 2 tens remain here. And 10 units, what you borrowed from here, plus these 5 units together, they make 15 units. Now you can subtract 9 from 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. 2 minus 5. Here 5 is a bigger number. We cannot subtract 5 from 2. We need to borrow from hundreds place. We are borrowing 100 from here. That is 10 tens. So 100 remain here and the 10 tens what you borrowed from hundreds place, and these two tens together they make 12 tens. So now 12 minus 5 is 7. 1 minus 7. 7 is a bigger number, so we cannot subtract 7 from 1. We need to borrow from 8. So we are borrowing 1000 here, that is 10 hundreds. So when you borrow 1000 from here, 7000 remain, and 10 hundreds what you borrowed to hundreds place, those 10 hundreds and 100 which is here, together they make 1100. 10 plus 1, 11. Now we can subtract 7 from 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. And 7 minus 4 is 3. So the answer is 34,476. Next, 34,429 minus 15,219. 9 minus 9 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 5. Now here 5 is a bigger number, so we cannot subtract 5 from 4. We will have to borrow from 10,000's place. So this 3 10,000s, they become 2 10,000. Okay, and we are borrowing 1 10,000. So those 10,000 plus these 4,000 together, they make 14,000. 14 minus 5 is 9, and 2 minus 1 is 1. The answer is 19,210. Next, 50,709 minus 32,815. 9 minus 5 is 4. 0 minus 1, we cannot subtract 1 from 0. So we borrow from 7. 700, that is 10 tens we are borrowing here. So those 10 tens and these 0 tens together they make 10 tens. Since we have borrowed 100 to tens place, 600 remain here. Okay. Now let's subtract 1 from 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 6 minus 8. Now 8 is a bigger number. We cannot subtract 8 from 6. Let's move to the next number here. It is 0. We cannot borrow from 0 to 6. So first we need to borrow from 5 to 0. So these 5 10,000s, they become 4 10,000s. Okay. So 4 10,000 remain here, and we have borrowed 1 10,000, that is 10,000 plus these 0 thousands together they make 10,000. Okay. Now let's borrow from this 10,000 to hundreds place. Now when you borrow from 10,000 here, 9,000 remain. Since you are borrowing 10 hundreds, so those 10 hundreds and this 600 together they make 1600. 16 minus 8 is 8. 9 minus 2 is 7. And 4 minus 3 is 1. The answer is 17,894. Next, 67,000 minus 38,765. 0 minus 5. We cannot subtract 5 from 0. The next place, tens place has 0, hundreds place has 0. So we are going to move to the thousands place. So we are going to borrow 1000 to hundreds place first. So when you borrow 1000 to hundreds place, 6000 remain here, and we have borrowed 10 hundreds, that is 1000. Now from this 1000 we need to borrow to tens place, so 900 remain here, and these 0 tens and 10 tens which are borrowed together they make 10 tens. Now from these 10 tens you have to borrow 1 10 to the units, so 9 10 remain here, and 10 units which are borrowed from tens place and 0 unit together they make 10 units. So now let's subtract 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 6 is 3, 9 minus 7 is 2, 6 minus 8. Now 8 is a bigger number. We cannot subtract 8 from 6. We need to borrow from 10,000's place. So when you borrow from 6 10,000, 5 10,000 remain here, and you are borrowing 10,000. So those 10,000 and these 6,000 together they make 16,000. Now we can subtract 8 from 16. 16 minus 8 is 8, and 5 minus 3 is 2. The answer is 28,235. Seventh, 50,000 minus 35,000. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. It is 0 minus 5. So we cannot subtract 5 from 0. We need to borrow from 10,000's place. There are 5 10,000s. So when you borrow 1 10,000, 4 10,000 remain here, and we have borrowed 10,000. So those 10,000s and 0,000 together they make 10,000 here. Now we can subtract 5 from 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, and 4 minus 3 is 1. The answer is 15,000. Next, 84,540 minus 24,899. Now 0 minus 9. We cannot subtract 9 from 0. So we are going to borrow from tens place. We are borrowing 1 10. So 3 tens remain here. We have borrowed 10 units. Those 10 units and these 0 unit together they make 10 units. So 10 minus 9 is 1. 3 minus 9. 9 is a bigger number. So we cannot subtract 9 from 3. We are going to borrow from 5. When you borrow from 500, 400 remain here. And these 3 tens and 10 tens what you borrowed from hundreds together they make 13 tens. So 13 minus 9 is 4. 4 minus 8. We cannot subtract 8 from 4. So we're going to borrow from 4,000. So when you borrow from 4,000, 3,000 remain here. We are borrowing 10 hundreds. So those 10 hundreds and these 400 together they make 14 hundreds. 10 plus 4 is 14. Now 14 minus 8 is 6. 3 minus 4. We cannot subtract 4 from 3. 4 is a bigger number. Hence, we are going to borrow from 8 10,000. So, when you borrow from 8 10,000, 7, 10,000 remain here. We are borrowing 1, 10,000 here, and these 3,000 together they make 13,000. Now 13,000 we can subtract 4,000, right? So 13 minus 4 is 9. 7 minus 2 is 5. The answer is 59,641. The last one, 70,000 minus 19,075. 0 minus 5, we cannot subtract 5 from 0. So when we move to the tens place, we find it is 0 here. In the hundreds place too, we have 0. Thousands place is also 0. So we're going to borrow from 10,000 place to thousands place, from thousands place to hundreds place, from hundreds place to tens place, and from tens place to the units place, and then we are going to subtract. Okay, now 7, 10,000. So when you borrow 1, 10,000 to thousands place, 6, 10,000 remain here. We have borrowed 10,000 here. Those 10,000 and these 0,000 together, they make 10,000. Now we can borrow from 10,000 to hundreds place. Now we are borrowing 1,000. So 9,000 will remain here, and we have borrowed 1,000, that is 10 hundreds. Those 10 hundreds and these 0 together, they make 10 hundreds. Now from these 10 we are going to borrow to the tens place. Now when you borrow 100, 900 will remain in hundreds place, and we have borrowed 10 tens here. So those 10 tens and these 0 tens together, they make 10 tens. Now from these 10 tens, we are going to borrow 110 to the units place. Then 9, 10 remain here, and we have borrowed 10 units. Those 10 units and this 0 unit together, they make 10 units. Now we can perform the subtraction. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. And 6 minus 1 is 5. The answer is 50,925. So in this way, you can perform the subtraction by borrowing method. I hope this concept is clear to you. If you are new to my channel, do subscribe, and don't forget to like and share this video with your friends. Thank you.